Welcome to my Flex3Drive Extruder review. In this video I'm going to share my opinions about the Flex3Drive G3 extruder. But before that, let's talk about the main features of this extruder. Flex3Drive is a 40:1 gear ratio direct drive extruder, meaning the filament gear is on the X shaft directly attached to the hot end. But to keep the weight of a stepper motor off from the X axis, it uses a flexible shaft to rotate the gear and relocates the motor to somewhere else on your 3D printer. In my case, I mounted it on the left extrusion. This is basically the best of two worlds. It allows you to have less weight on the X carriage without suffering from problems that the Bowden setups cause, especially with flexible filaments. This extruder ships with a hot end fan and 2 layer fans, and if you ask them to do so, they will provide mounts for your 3D printer if they already have designed a mount for your 3D printer. Also, if you ask them to do so, and if you need them, they will ship 24-volt fans instead of 12 volts. The extruder, as of recording this video, costs about £80 for a single filament model, and it does not include the stepper motor that you will need, but you can use any small NEMA 17 motor, and also it doesn't include any hot ends. But it supports many of the common hot ends on the market, like a J-Head or E3D V6, so I am using mine with a genuine E3D V6 hot end with a hardened steel nozzle on my Tevo Black Widow 3D printer, which is controlled by a MKS Gen 1.4 board. I had this extruder for about 2 months, and I tested a wide range of different filaments, including PLA, PETG, and TPU, which is a highly flexible material. So, let's look at the print quality. We will look at a 3D Benchy and a CTRLV torture test. And if you don't know, these are very hard to print perfectly, hence the name torture test. So any random print will almost certainly be even better than these, and these by themselves look very good as well. So let's take a closer look. So here are the two test prints that I talked about. Here is the CTRLV torture test, and here we have the 3D Benchy. Let's first take a look at the 3D Benchy. As you can see, the print is very smooth. There are a little bit of zits on the sides, but they are very minor. You can't really tell the layers other than the minor problem here. I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up, but that's something to do with my 3D printer, not with the extruder, so try to ignore that. There's some infill problems with this, and again, that's something to do with my settings. But other than that, it printed very well, and there were really close to no stringing. The hard part of this torture test is these curves and these overhangs, and as you can see, they are near perfect. So if we take a close look at the CTRLV torture test, as you can see, this one has a whole bunch of different hard to print tests, like this semi-sphere or this fin tower. You can see some stringing on this, but believe me, this is very little compared to regular cheaper extruders. You can see the leaning towers here. They printed very well as well. And yeah, you can see the fin walls here. As you can see, it printed even the thinnest wall properly without merging it with the next one layer, so it printed perfectly. Also, the part cooling fan is perfect. As you can see, these are very straight. And yeah, I'm not going to go over every single thing on here, but I'm just quickly showing them on camera. And if you want to see how hard these are to print perfectly, just try to print these on your own. I'll put the Thingiverse links in the description below so you can see it for yourself. So yeah, the print quality is very good. As you can see, they look very good. It took a lot of tinkering with the settings to get there, but still, a cheap extruder cannot print this good. And I also tried flexible filaments. I don't have any footage of them, but I'll just say this extruder has no issues of TPU getting stuck anywhere or any clogging or anything like that, and it prints it as good as it does other filaments. So overall you can see that I am very happy with this extruder, but I also have several complaints as well, and to be honest, more than I expected to have. So first of all, loading and unloading filament is a real chore. The design has this arm that you can use to unlock the filament and then theoretically load your filament after removing the old filament, obviously, but in practice it gets stuck somewhere and it never loads properly. So to load a filament, in a lot of cases you have to unscrew the top, remove the flex shaft, and then you get to the hot ends top where you can load your filament. And the reason that I think the filament gets stuck is there is basically nothing to guide the filament between the PTFE tube on the top to where you load the filament and the extrusion gear. So the gap between these two areas is enough to get the filament out of alignment. So I don't know if this issue still exists on the Gen 4 model. Mine is a Gen 3, but the reason that the Gen 3 is more important is the Gen 3 model is more compatible with a wide range of printers, while the Gen 4 is only compatible with a very small chunk of 3D printers on the market. Another issue that you should be aware of is their processing time. If you search online for this extruder, you can easily see that a lot of people are complaining about the processing times. What I mean by processing times is the time they take to prepare your order and ship it. Most people that I saw said it took about 3-4 weeks for their order to ship. In my case, this was much longer. It took about 2 months, but I think my case was an exception and it usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks. So just be aware of that if you're considering ordering this extruder. These were the main things that I wanted to mention as negatives of the extruder, but there are also a few minor nitpicks that I have. For example, the included fan is very noisy. It is a good thing that they include a hot end fan and 2-layer fans along with mounts for them, but still, I would prefer if they chose better fans or used 40mm fans instead of 25mm fans, so they could be easily replaced with silent fans like Noctua fans. So, all of these negatives aside, I still think that this is a great extruder, mainly because of its print quality and the fact that it is 40:1 geared. The price point is a bit steep, but if you can afford it, and if you are patient enough to wait several weeks before it is shipped, I highly recommend this extruder. It's well worth the wait and the price. So I hope you found this review useful. If you did, please leave me a like below. If you have any questions regarding my experience with this extruder, leave them as comments down below and I will answer them. And if you want to see this extruder in action, you can watch my Black Widow mods playlist. I installed them on my Black Widow 3D printer and you can see it working in those videos. Thanks for watching.